This is everything you need to know about Egypt's presidential elections in 4 minutes. Egyptians take to the streets to protest the Mubarak regime. The economy stinks, food prices are up, elections are rigged, and people suffer from police brutality. To try and appease protesters, Mubarak replaces the government and makes his spy chief the vice president. It doesn't go over well. A year later, Omar Suleiman will run for president. That also doesn't go over well. Mubarak asked the former chief of Egypt's Air Force to form a new government. A month later, he will resign under pressure from protesters, but Ahmed Shafiq will also run for president. After 18 days of protest, the new vice president announces that Mubarak is stepping down. The military takes over. Mubarak hides out in a resort town. There are rumors he has health problems. The military dissolves the parliament and suspends the constitution. They promise to only hold power for 6 months or until a new president is elected. That was more than a year ago. Voters turn out en masse to vote in a constitutional referendum by the military. The revolutionaries don't like it. Everyone else does. It is approved. Mubarak and his sons are arrested on corruption charges. Mubarak is also charged with directing the killing of protesters. He is shown on national television, in a hospital bed, in a cage. In March, Samira Ibrahim and other female protesters are subjected to virginity tests. She sues the military, and wins. A civilian court bans the practice. Frustration with military rule causes more protests, and more protests, and more protests. Military clears Tahrir. The Israeli embassy is ransacked. Coptic Christian protesters are killed by the military. Protesters retake Tahrir and clash with police and military. Police beat and strip a female protester. People are outraged, especially women. Her blue bra becomes iconic. Egypt holds a series of parliamentary elections. The elections take nearly 4 months. In the main house of parliament, the Muslim Brotherhood, once banned under Mubarak, wins nearly half the seats. Salafis, an ultra-conservative Islamist group, wins a quarter of the seats. Secular groups, including those that largely started the uprising, are a minority. 17 non-governmental organizations are raided by the Egyptian government and charged with using illegal funds to meddle in Egypt's affairs. Some of them are American. Egypt marks the 1-year anniversary of the 18-day uprising. Military is still in control, still no constitution or president. 75 people are killed at a soccer game riot in Port Said, Egypt. The visiting team is a favorite in Cairo. Many of the fans had battled with security forces during the uprising. People blame the police for not doing enough to stop the violence. Protesters clash with the police in Cairo. A committee is formed to draft a constitution before the presidential election. It's mostly Islamists. Minorities walk out. The committee is suspended. Of the 1,000 who started applications to run for president, roughly 20 meet the requirements. 10 more are disqualified. 3 of them are frontrunners. The favorite candidate of conservative Islamists, Hazem Abu Ismail, criticized the U.S. in his campaign speeches. He is disqualified because his mother held American citizenship. The last vice president of Mubarak makes a last-minute decision to run, but is disqualified because his application wasn't complete. The Muslim Brotherhood, who early in the year swore they would not field a presidential candidate, decides to field 2. Their first choice, Khayat al-Shatar, is disqualified. Their second choice, Mohamed Morsi, is less popular. He is nicknamed the Spare. The official list of candidates is announced. There is still no constitution and no sense of what power the president will have. 13 candidates run anyway. 2 leading candidates take part in the Arab world's first televised debate. Amr Moussa, a foreign minister under Mubarak for 10 years and chief of the Arab League for the past decade, talks about security, stability, and his diplomatic experience. Abdelmanam Abou Fattouh, a moderate Islamist who left the Muslim Brotherhood a year ago, talks about martyrs and the revolution. Moussa accuses him of being beholden to hardline Islamists. Abou Fattouh accuses Moussa of being too close to the Mubarak regime. Moussa, Abou Fattouh, Morsi, and former Prime Minister Ahmed Shafiq are considered the frontrunners. Khaled Ali, a human rights lawyer, and Hamdin Sabahi, a political activist, are popular with liberal secularists who want neither an Islamist or a former regime official. But they and the 7 other candidates are considered long shots. Egyptians will vote on May 23rd and 24th. If no candidate wins a majority of votes, a runoff will be held June 16th and 17th. And then maybe Egypt will have its first democratically elected president.